today I'm going to be showing you some very, very wild pictures of weather and other pictures of different stuff. Like, mostly it's going to be like tornadoes and thunderstorms like that and stuff, and it's just going to be cool. Anyway, I also am going to give you some facts on tornadoes and other storms. Okay, the first fact is on a tornado is tornadoes often occur one after another. A supercell thundercloud can produce 6 or more violent tornadoes. That is a bunch of tornadoes. In April 1974, in the United States experienced the worst outbreak of tornadoes ever. In just 16 hours, 148 tornadoes touched down over 13 states of Alabama to West Virginia. Wow. These deadly twisters killed 330 people and caused major destruction across 2,500 miles, 4,000 kilometers of land. That is a lot. And here's the picture. So yeah. And then here's another one. A tornado has just begun to form below a heavy black thundercloud, and that is right here. That one. So, and another thing is, if anybody has been wondering this, and I know a lot of people probably have, what is a thunderstorm? A thunderstorm, well, lightning is positive and negative charged electricity from just it's electricity. And the reason they say never go behind near a tree is because it is higher up from the ground, so the odds of a thunder hitting that or lightning hitting that is 50-50. So most of the time it'll hit trees or high buildings, and the negative charges, it's not likely gonna hit your house because your house is kind of smaller than a large building or tree. So it's not positive that it's gonna hit your house or anything like that. And it's not positive that it would hit you, but if you're under a tall building or something, yeah, it might hit you, and it can cause death. Thunderstorms and often bring hail when there's a sign of a tornado. On tornadoes, the sometimes the sky will turn green, and that's another sign. So when there's like tornado warnings out, go to the basement or a hall or something like that, don't go outside, because if you go outside, there is a possibility that you can die. So most people are stubborn and try to chase those storms and everything, but it's just not safe. Tornadoes are a storm with violent winds. It looks like a funnel-shaped cloud. A tornado usually develops under a big thundercloud. It does not last long, but its winds are often much fast and strong. So there's different types of tornadoes. So if there's a huge tornado, the biggest tornado is an F5, and a F5 is pretty big. And then next to that is an F4, F3, F2, F1, F0. And it goes all the way to F5, and it can't go any further than that though. So, but even if F1 is still pretty strong, it's just wind. It's just wind. It's not a lot of other stuff. It's the cool air and the hot air mixing, formating like this up in a thundercloud, which will produce a tornado that will start with a funnel cloud. That when you see a funnel cloud, there's usually a tornado that's going to hit, and the bigger the tornado, the more violent it is. So, yeah. And tornadoes usually are in North America, will usually hit in like in Tornado Valley, which is different states like Texas, Oklahoma, those types of states. The ones that are like in the middle of the state that divides the two parts, in those ones, but like on the north side where the Great Lakes are and everything, those won't, like Kansas and stuff like that, won't get like hit, but they do get hit sometimes. So damage can be pretty harsh. So yeah, tornadoes do pretty violent stuff. Preparing for a tornado, the safest place to be during a tornado is an underground shelter or places like underground. That's nice. So if you're outside, go into a ditch, because tornadoes hop, which makes it wouldn't likely to hit the ditch, because a tornado hops when it comes through. And did you know that when it's not actually called a tornado until it touches the ground? So a tornado won't be called a tornado until it actually hits the ground.
Anyone need a bathroom before a shower? Yeah. Need a bathroom before a shower?
So, yeah. That's all I have about tornadoes, and now that I'm going to go on to a different type of weather, a hurricane. So, hurricanes are like tornadoes, but they form over water. And a hurricane is like a tornado on water, but it is different. It's in a different shape and different form. There's in the middle of the storm, it's called an eye. And an eye is where it's the most calmest place in a hurricane, which most people want to get to into the eye, because that's the calmest part, and it helps to do that. So, yeah. It's most calmest and the less likely to damage stuff. And on the other sides, on the two other sides, the left and right sides are strong, and the strongest winds are the ones that are going to cause the most damage. So, yeah. And a hurricane happens when warm, moist air pulls into a hurricane. When it pulls in, air flows out the hurricane. Bands of heavy rain, clouds, and the eye wall, and all that kind of stuff. So, that's a hurricane. A hurricane can be tracked over a couple weeks, even a couple days, a couple weeks, it depends. Although a tornado cannot be tracked. So a tornado can be more dangerous because you don't know when that's going to happen. It just happens. So yeah, and but a hurricane can be tracked over days and stuff, so you're prepared of what's going to happen. Flash. Okay, a helicopter rescues a woman from a building from a hurricane. So when hurricanes come, most of the time, people will be picked up by helicopter or something like that. Yeah. So that's all I have about hurricanes and tornadoes. So that's really all I have. So join me next time for heat waves and blizzards. Thank you. Bye.